you make the loan to the person that will put 10% down, but not the person that will loan put 50% down, and both of them lose their job, who's going to default?
I think you're absolutely right, and I think you're spot on. And I think what you'll see is, as an example, under that scenario, you'd see RPM Bank of Commerce saying, "We'll take that deal." I think that you're going to see community banks going, "We'll take that deal." And I don't think that you're going to see the major institutions playing that because they can't securitize it. But I do think that you're going to see community banks having to step up and work with I mean, they're community banks, right? There's a reason why they're so-called community. They're there to help their community.
Well, that borrower that will put the $1.5 million down with a FICO of 750, 760, 780, whatever, he'll have reserves in the bank.
Yep.
But, you know, their state of income because they're self-employed and tax avoidance, not tax evasion.
Absolutely.
So that's the borrower that I think, in this area, we need the loan for that borrower.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think that, you know, again, that's our whole point as well. That's why we're buying a bank, right? We're sitting there saying these are great borrowers, and like you're saying, it is tax avoidance. That's okay. I mean, everyone's trying to avoid taxes, and by them taking advantage of depreciation and everything else, their income shows they make no money. Obviously, they're doing well, but they're using the tax laws to help them, and they're typically self-employed people.
When is your company going to buy those?
Well, we hope to close on that bank within 60 days. Our lawyers say it's going to be between 60 and 90 days.
And you can start right away once you close?
I can start doing the Bible and Arms right away. You know, again, we will look. We're not going to have an open door that says we'll take all those loans every day.
Oh, come on.
Well, that'll be the shortest lifespan of owning a bank you've ever seen. But I do really believe that you're going to see the market. You know, I think one of the things that banks are arguing about is, on one hand, the federal government is saying, lend, lend, lend. And on the other hand, the regulators are saying, don't, don't, don't. And if you think about it, my opinion at least, and I've been in front of a few regulators in the last 22 months trying to get the bank done, I believe all regulators at every level, I'm talking dog catcher all the way up to the president, is re-interviewing for his job. I really do. I mean, right now, they all want to prove that they're not asleep at the switch. And they are just, you know, killing the banks, going, you can't do this. And of course, you have Obama saying, you know, we're going to put up another couple $100 billion for SBA loans. Well, the regulators are going, well, it better not be this, it better not be that. So the banker fears the regulator more than he fears Obama, because Obama's going to be gone in 3 years. The regulator's there for life. So, well, he has 3 years left, right? Unless he gets reelected. So the regulator.
Is that a prediction?
Well, Massachusetts may have given us a prediction. But the regulators right now have made it so that banks are afraid to lend. And I think it's really funny when you hear these stats going, oh, borrowers, you know, interest is down, and people aren't asking for credit. I think that's bull. I really do. I don't think banks are going to say, I fear my regulator. That's the worst thing they can do, right? But banks are in jail right now. I mean, they're as tied up as we are. But I do think community banks are going to have to be the ones that step up. I know our community banks will. I mean, you know, again, we're already, you know, coming out with jumbo amounts. We just closed on January 11th. I mean, we just came out with the 5-1 jumbo to $3 million in Connecticut. So if you have a client in Connecticut, I can help you. And it'll take us a few months again to bring it to California. But you know, to me, that's the answer. So, anyway, that's where I think rates will be. So I think that we have another. We're not going to see the lows of last year, but I think we're still at instead of being at 50-year lows, we're at 40-year lows. So, Cindy said be inspirational, and we just had our kickoff the year deal for about 400 people last Thursday, and I ended my my talk with basically this thought, and I think that, you know, right now, at the end of the day, everyone's doing everything they can, and I think that that's truly what achievement is. And we can rate success in tributes and awards, but at the end of the day, you know, I really do believe that if we've given it our all, that is achievement. And I think right now our industry is giving it its all. And I think that, again, the fact that you're still sitting in this room is achievement. And I think that success will follow that. But I think right now, this continues to be an industry that we all love. I think that right now, I think we've gone through the hardest part. I think if we can just get through this 2010 GFE, I think it's going to be a better year than you think. I think that it will rival '09 by way of sales. I think that right now the purchase market is all the rage. And right now I think that you're going to see refis going to only be about 30% of the market. I think everything else is purchases. So hopefully you'll see smarter money chasing more purchases and trying to be more aggressive to that, because I think the refis are done, is our 2 cents on it. So on that note, can I answer any questions or any thoughts? Or yes?
I had a question about the change in circumstance. If you send that out electronically, does the buyer have the option to decline the
No, because that means that we received it. Right? I mean,
You mean to approve it?
I just wanted to know if
yeah, the good news about
they
the
were on the outside wondering if they got it and they stopped the process and
Yeah, the good news about change in circumstances, they don't need to sign it. We just have to prove that we sent it. So we will automatically, but at the same time, if the borrower says there's been a change in circumstance, we can always say to the borrower, the loan amount has changed, that's a change in circumstance. But they can always tell us if there's been any change in circumstance that they recognize. So at the end of the day, we will automatically just send them by mail and electronic, something has changed. And that covers us for disclosure. We just must send it within 3 days of knowing a change in circumstance, is what the law is. They don't need to sign it. We just have to prove that we sent it. So I know it's a confusing thought process on that one. At least it is for me. So, any other questions?
Your jumbo 5-1 interest, like, will that be just
My dream 5-1 jumbo?
Yeah, feature. Is that going to be in purchase money only, or?
No. Purchase and refi.
How are they going to handle loan to value on those refis?
Up to $3 million will be 65%. I mean, you're going to see it. I mean, you're going to see it as a. I don't know if you want to call it a Union Bank killer, but it'll be comparable to Union Bank. I would just like to believe with better, faster, smarter service and a much more powerful HVCC behind it. But I think right now when you're getting into the $3 million range, it's a very qualified borrower, right? Who wants exceptional service. That's what we see that product being. So, any other questions? Great. Thank you very much.